Hello. I want to spend some time with you talking about why and how we want to encourage you to read your Bible. And the reason why we want this to be part of a habit is because it's all about having a relationship with God. God talks to us through His Word. We talk to God through prayer. And in a relationship, you need the equal parts. So, think about how if you had a friend that only called you whenever they needed something. That's not much of a relationship. But sometimes that's how we treat God. We just want to communicate with Him when we're in trouble, when we need some help. And that's not the relationship that He wants to have with us. And so we want to go through and share with you some methods that might help you get more out of your Bible reading. First thing we want to take a look at is how we work with the Bible. The Bible is a living document. And so you want to use it as a workbook. You want to highlight it. I'm going to show you a picture of my Bible. I use different highlighters, different colors. I write in the margins, and the different highlighters are for different times that I've worked through that book of the Bible. And you can see I have black ink, I have red ink, I have blue ink, I have green ink. That's each time I've gone through this book of the Bible where it has said something different to me as I work through it. So I want to encourage you to write in your Bible. If you're thinking about going and buying a Bible, I would recommend a Bible that in the margins, it has an area for you to write stuff down. As you look at my Bible, you can see I kind of sporadically just kind of write off into the margins and stuff, but each time you go through different books of the Bible, it should say something different to you. So I want to encourage you to have a writing utensil every time you open up the book and read through it. Now, I'll be honest with you, for the longest time, I didn't really read my Bible on a regular basis. I found it very frustrating. I didn't see applications. I didn't understand what I was reading. I had a hard time explaining, some of the names, some of the cities and stuff. And so what I did was I downloaded on my phone a Bible app. There's all kinds of different Bible apps out there. The one that I like is Through the Word. What Through the Word does is each chapter, there's a set of like 4 or 5 pastors that are all part of this Through the Word. And they take 3 to 5 minutes and they give you the context of that chapter. They tell you when it was written, who wrote it, why, how it fits into the big picture. It gives you all that context so that as you read that chapter, you understand where they're coming from. Points out certain parts of that chapter so that those verses help jump out at you a little bit more. And then, after those pastors kind of go through and explain the meaning of that chapter, then it goes through and it reads that for you. And that's what helped me the most, because I'm not a very fast reader and I stumble on the names and the words, and so I let the Bible app read while I follow along. And then when something jumps out at me, that's when I'm taking my pen or pencil and highlighting that and writing a little note to how God spoke to me in this one verse. So I would encourage you to get a Bible app, and that'll help things along. And then the last thing that I think would help you, this is something that we did in men's group as we were working on our quiet time, was we have a worksheet that we work through, and this will come up on the screen. And you can do this as a Bible app as well. I can get you that information. I can run a bunch of these copies off for you. I can email you a PDF if you want it. If you want a copy of this, I can get it to you. Just find me and I'll be more than happy to get it to you. But what this does is that it starts to ask some questions about the passage that you read. And so as you can kind of see on the sheet that's up on the screen, it has the date, it has the passage that we read, so like say Matthew 6. Then the major themes from what you read. And so that's what the Bible app does for you. But, you know, those pastors will point out some of those major themes, so that kind of helps you with that. Then the part that I like where it says best verse of the day. So what's that one verse that really jumped out at you, that really talked to you as you were going through that chapter this time? Because each time certain things, you know, different things come out for you. Then there's questions to ask. Is there a command to obey? Is there a promise to claim? A sin to avoid? An application to make? And is there something new that you learned about God? So again, it's kind of reflecting on what you just read. Then ask who, what, when, where, why. So who wrote this? Who did they write it to? What was the purpose of it? When was it written? And again, a lot of those are answered from that Bible app before they go and do their reading. And then I think the best part of this, to finish up this worksheet, is to rewrite your best verse of the day in your own words. So this verse jumped out at you, so how can you rephrase this into your words so that it's more meaningful? And so this is what I do in my quiet time. So I pick a chapter in the Bible, I get the context, I read through it, and then I fill out this sheet. And then that's what's making it more meaningful. And the goal is for this to be a daily habit for you. So this is part of my morning routine now. It didn't used to be, but now it's part of my daily routine, just like brushing your teeth, eating breakfast, whatever the case may be, it's all part of that. So we want to encourage you to develop this habit, and we find that we'll always make time for what's important. This is important, right? He's your best friend, and it's important for you to have this relationship and spend some time. So I hope this has helped. Please see any of the pastors or find me and we'll help you with this. But that's our prayers for you, is that you develop your relationship with Him. God bless.